Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying there. You were saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on?
BoxingVoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time?
Absolutely,
but I knew he was touching and taking his punches.
TBV-Errol Productions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Hashtag TBV Podcast. We are back with another spontaneous episode. This time we're going to be having trainer of Errol Spence Jr., the current IBF welterweight champion, Derrick James, world-renowned trainer Derrick James, who has taken Errol Spence to phenomenal heights, along with Jermell Charlo, who left the tutelage of Ronnie Shields to train over there with Errol Spence and Derrick James, and we've seen definitely a resurgence in his career. I mean, knockout after knockout, ending in his most explosive performance till date with Erickson Lubin. But today's topic at hand is obviously the trainer of Errol Spence and all that is that camp. Obviously, Errol Spence will be facing Lamont Peterson January 20th, so why not pick the brain, the mastermind behind what is Team Spence. Let me head on over to the Golden State and introduce, obviously, my co-host, the Hipster Hunter.
TBV Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
BoxingVoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes, the Hipsters here. Haters beware. And I'm glad to have Derrick James on. For one, he is one of the nicest guys in the sport, a genuine good guy in this industry. And plus, when you think about who could be a potential star in the next couple years and who's a young champion right now, he has two in his stable, in Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence Jr., of course. So I can't wait to pick his mind. Obviously I was in Dallas, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, with Doomy and Ness, and I was in the camp with Errol Spence and Derrick James, and it was just a great time with them. So can't wait to have him on the show and pick his brain about this fight upcoming with Errol Spence Jr. and Lamont Peterson. How Jermell Charlo just demolished Lubin in one round. I would love to get his opinion on that and what's next for Charlo. And so much. Plus Rob Brant, having that really tough loss against Jurgen Bramer. I like to see what's happening with Rob Brant. So should be a fun show.
Definitely going to be an entertaining show. I mean, my first couple of questions are going to be those same questions that we get asked here on the show. I want to see if Coach James or maybe even Earl feel the way that some of the Spencer fans feel, that the Porters and Thurman are ducking them. I want to see what his thoughts are on those topics and have any words been relayed. Matt, I guess hold it down. Let me get this thing going, right? Waste time. We got Tuesday night fights on Fox Sports Deportes. We have what do we got? Miguel Cruz taking on Grayton. We've seen Grayton before. He got an upset win, I believe, last time he was on TV. Miguel Cruz, I believe, lost. I'm not sure, but
and obviously Evan Alexander versus Walter.
That is the main event, which is probably more where I should have led with, right?
Yeah, I don't know why you started with the undercard of a Tuesday night fight.
Oh, they deserve respect too.
True. Well, so go get James. I'll be here holding down the fort. Man, I can't wait to talk to Derrick James about really what's next for Charlo. To me, that's the most interesting part. We sort of know what's happening with Errol Spence Jr. What's next for Charlo? Does he pick a Jared Hurd? Does he pick a Ezelon de Laura? There's so many options for a guy like Jermell Charlo. And right now he is sort of coming into his own along with his brother and sort of becoming stars. So I really can't wait. Can't wait to pick apart his brain about what is next.
Well, no longer do you need to wait. We are definitely live with Derrick James, trainer of Jermell Charlo, Rob Brant, and Errol Spence Jr., the truth. Derrick, first and foremost, I want to say thank you, obviously, for taking out the time, busy schedule, training on all those champs, and coming on the Boxing Voice here to allow us to pick your brain. So how are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing, man? I'll talk to you in a minute. And I'm good, man.
I'm good. Matt is obviously my co-host. He's on. So we'll jump right into it, man. I mean, we're going to go through all the customary questions, right? The traditional ones. How's training camp, Derrick? How's things going in the training camp of Errol Spence for this Lamont Peterson fight?
It's good, man. Each fought 12 rounds today with two young guys, two little tough young cats, and it was pretty good, man. It was good.
And, not to get off topic, I guess we should have got to this before we got into Earl, because that'll be, taking us some time. But how is Robert Brant? How's his spirits? Can we expect a comeback? Is he still on the path?
Hey, man, he's okay, man. He's just, you suffer your first defeat. And you just gotta, get your mind right and try to get back on the path. You know what I'm saying? It's everything is right there. You just gotta reach out and grab it, close your hand. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta get back on the situation, and find out, what you want to do and go get it.
Now, what do you think that he did wrong? I mean, guys like me, we were high on Brant. We automatically assume he would beat Bramer due to age and due to the fact that he'd been fighting at 175 for something like 6 years, and he decided to come down to meet Brant at 168. What went wrong in that one?
Hey, man, listen, I couldn't tell you. You know what I mean? I can't tell you. I have no idea. We worked on it. Everything that Bramer did, I mimicked it. We even before the fight, even if you could hear the instructions during the fight, I don't know. So I can't say. I'm not the guy to bash the guy or whatever. It's the game. You know what I'm saying? Some days you're just not on, or you just don't. And I think that's obviously. That day was that day for him. I don't know. I can't call it. Everything he worked on, everything Bramer did, we worked on. So it was, it was basically, if you think about it, Bramer did exactly what Erickson Lubin did. Kept dipping down. And I don't know. So I can't. I don't know what to say.
And I guess my last question, just to round out the Robert Brant subject, is going to be, has he expressed to you whether or not he's coming back to 160?
He just did that. They just did that for a tournament or whatever. Yeah, he'll be back down to 160. Without a doubt.
Well, everyone's here. Everyone's here because we're all interested in, obviously, what seems to be the new star in boxing, and that's Errol Spence Jr. He's grown a very almost erratic fan base. They come out full-fledged to defend him nowadays, and they feel that the rest of the welterweight division is ducking Errol Spence. So I wanted to get your opinion on that, being a trainer. You get to hear, I guess, the stories or see firsthand. Do you feel your fighter is being avoided?
Derrick, did we lose you?
Question too saucy?
Oh, no, Derrick.
Derrick? Matt, it's actually your episode. Look at the computer. Look at the board.
What do you mean?
Look at it.
I don't see anything wrong.
Really?
Yeah,
mine suspended on my end.
Mine doesn't.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't. I don't know what happened then.
He must have just dropped off. What happens?
Derrick, are you there? All right. Well, let's put him on mute and just double check the board by going to first one here, last one to leave. You there?
Yep.
You're definitely there. All right. So you're good. So obviously Derrick went through some technical difficulties in Texas. So we'll go ahead and
You want to try to get him right now?
Yeah. He just texted me and said it hung up. We're dialing him back. No worries.
These things happen in show business, technical difficulties. We're going to get Derrick James back on.
Derrick, are you there? Oh, unmute, right? All right. All right. So I don't know if you got the question, but basically I was asking you, do you feel that your fighter in Errol Spence Jr. is being avoided the way that his fandom feels that he is, particularly or specifically by Sean Porter and Keith Thurman?
I mean, I don't like to get into that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that people choose to fight who they want to fight. The champions don't the champions don't challenge people. They're supposed to get challenged. So I think the champ can say, I want to fight the guy number 15, number 10. So the champ has to be challenged. So I think that with Sean Porter and Keith Thurman, I don't know. I mean, I don't think about it so much. I think about what's in front of me. Would I like to fight Keith Thurman without a doubt, but I do my best trying not to interject my personal feelings into a fight. Right. So because it's his career. I'm just here as trying to help him get to the next level or whatever. So I don't like to interject my personal feelings into the fight. But I would love just if Keith Thurman is that guy at 147, everybody feels like he has to beat. I want him to beat him. I want him to fight him. If it's Sean Porter who could possibly beat Keith Thurman, whatever the case may be, I mean, it's just I want him to fight him. So I want what he wants. I want everything for him that he wants for himself. If you know where that comes from the Bible. So it says Jesus wants everything you want for yourself. So I'm not going to interject my personal feelings into it. I'm just going to say I want whatever he wants. And the ducking aspect of it, hey man, I try not to think about that. Because you always say, you never want a guy to be afraid of you, because the guy who's afraid of you will kill you. So you want that guy to be not afraid of you. The guy that's scared of you will kill you. So you just want in reality, in actuality, not in the boxing match, but so I'm not into that, man.
Hey, Derrick, it's Matt. Thank you for being on the show. It's always great to have you on. You mentioned champions wanting challenges, and that's what a champion should want. When you look at the Keith Thurmans, the Sean Porters, Terence Crawford moving up, who presents that challenge in your mind as a trainer that presents something interesting to you, where you go, oh, that's going to be fun to dissect, to make a game plan for? Which one of these top welterweights in your mind is that challenge?
I think all the guys are good, man. I think Sean Porter brings a certain type of fight. Keith Thurman brings his own different style. Terence Crawford has his own personal style. So I think that every one of these fights is very intriguing because, there's the potential to be like the Ray Leonard, Hearns, Hagler, Duran, Benitez, because all these fights can be considered super fights. And they are super fights. I think that, but, everybody wants to have something stewed up. Like Ray Leonard fought Tommy Hearns, and they both were really young. They both were really young, and they got at it. Ray Leonard fought Duran, and they all were, relatively young. So I think the building of the fights is one thing. These guys have already been built, I think that the promoters or the management or whatever have done their job. It's up to the guys to just say, let's get it on, and I think that all these guys pose a very interesting fight. Terence Crawford, we got to see how he fares with whoever he fares with at welterweight. And we go from there. If it's him, or if it's, Sean Porter or Keith Thurman, I think it's all very interesting. And I think that the fans, the actual, heart of boxing is back. Even you see it in the light middleweight division, these top guys fighting each other, and now you see it in the welterweight division. Hopefully we can get these guys in there, with Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter, and then after that, maybe even Terence Crawford.
In your opinion, who's a bigger fight, Danny Garcia or Sean Porter?
Man, damn, that's a good one. I mean, I think that, they both, I think, similar. You know what I mean? Because, both of the guys both fought Keith Thurman and lost to Keith Thurman. So, but realistically, we don't, I mean, that's walking sideways. I think we want to face the champion. If they're the champion, then that's who we want to face. You know what I mean? So, so if Sean Porter, it's okay, but he doesn't have, he's not a champion. But if he challenges,
but neither is Lamont though. And you're taking that step to the side.
Wait, listen. But Lamont was the WBA regular champion. And listen, I'm the trainer. So I have nothing to do with that. But at the same time, he was the one who wanted to take the fight. So it's not like these other guys don't want to take Sean Porter, so he'll fight Errol after he fights everybody else. That's what he said. Keith Thurman said he'll fight Errol, when cows fly, whatever. I mean, whenever, the end of the year, whenever, and Danny Garcia hadn't mentioned anything about it. So who's the fourth guy who's a quality guy who will take the fight? So, I mean, that's who it is. I mean, I don't know, man.
Realistically, in your opinion, when do you see a Porter Spence or a Thurman Spence realistically happening?
Man, I don't know. I'm being honest. I mean, I think that, I'm not a prophet, man. You know what I mean? I would hope that, I mean, believe me, these fights have been presented to these guys. They just have not taken the fight. But listen, believe me, these fights have been presented to these guys. They just have not been wanting to take the fight.
So in these guys, when you say the term "these guys," you mean Danny, Keith, Sean?
I'm pretty sure they possibly. I mean, well, we all know Errol talked about fighting Keith Thurman right there, sitting right next to him. Even when we were in London, when Sean Porter was in the locker room, I was like, yeah, I'll fight him. Yeah, I'll fight him. Right there, he was sitting right next to him right after he beat Kell Brook. They asked me to, yeah, I'll fight, Sean Porter, whatever. So I think that, this just, it's been talked about, man. I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen. I can't call it.
No, but just your prediction. Just your prediction, James. I mean, because I feel like realistically, Keith has a hurt elbow. He's going to take a tune-up in March. These guys on the level of Errol, Keith, Danny, they only fighting 2 times a year. So I'm figuring he's going to take his mandatory, which is Sean Porter, because he ain't going to lose a belt just to make a fight with Errol. I'm sure he's going to want to defend his WBC since now Porter's the mandatory. And then 2019. That's me. Now, if someone's going to tell me Keith is going to fight 3 times, in 2018, I could believe that he'll be fighting Errol. I just feel like it ain't happening until 2019.
Well, you know what? You stated the case, and that's a great probability. But what I'm saying is that he's going to take the fight, but the sanctioning bodies will actually let him forego fighting the mandatory if he fights to consolidate the belts. So he tried to unify the belts. I guarantee Jose Suleiman, Mauricio Suleiman to be like, man, they want that fight. You know what I mean? So they would want that fight. So I think they would forego the Sean Porter fight. If it was really what he wanted, they would do that. And they'll say, listen, Sean Porter be Errol Spence mandatory for the WBC. So I think that I think that would happen, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you said he's injured. He's not injured anymore. He had an injury. He's okay now. He's coming back. He's rehabbing. He's getting himself back together. And so, I mean, I'm happy for him that he's getting right where he wants to be. I just think that, we can wait for that. I mean, it's like Errol said, I'm not going to wait for these guys. He's going to fight somebody. I'm not going to just wait for him. Somebody will come up. It'll be a fight, and he'll fight because it's just crazy to wait for him and let the fans do all the talking to see what the reality of the situation is. If they want to fight, they'll fight. If they don't want to fight, they won't fight. And he'll just say, it is what it is. You got to keep fighting.
Definitely got to keep fighting, man. And that's why we do appreciate this Lamont Peterson fight. Errol basically said on social media that, he told Heyman he only wanted top 5 fighters. And I believe that Lamont is a top 5 fighter. Let's get into the fight a little bit. We've seen Lamont show, tremendous inside, game in the Amir Khan fight, in the Kendall Holt fight. And usually he's got to chase guys down. Now, it seems like we have two forces that are going to collide because Lamont's always seeking and Earl's always seeking to destroy. Are you expecting a fight in the inside, in the center of the ring, or do you think that Lamont changes the game up and becomes the boxer?
And I'm smiling right now. I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like this, I feel like this. They sparred a lot. They sparred like a lot. It's like he sparred Sean Porter a lot. They said he sparred Errol twice. That's not true. He sparred a lot because Lamont Peterson, Sean Porter, Adrian Brown, and Lainez were his sparring partners to help him get ready for the qualify for the Olympic Games. So he sparred Lainez once. He sparred Lamont Peterson. I saw him. Sparred Sean Porter. I was there for that too. So so we saw him spar these guys. They work together. They know each other. Errol has always looked up to him. He's talked to him like a big brother. So I think it's going to be a great fight. I mean, I'm smiling because it could possibly be that type of fight. I mean, it just depends on, if a smart guy would box, Lamont would try to box Errol, I would think. But at the same time, he has the ability, it's not so much about what we think he's going to do. He has the ability to fight on the inside. He has the ability to fight on the outside. He has the ability to use the jab. So I think that we have to focus on all of his abilities, all the things we know he actually can do, and focus and emphasize on those things and prepare a game plan or strategy just for those things that he can do. That we know he can possibly do. He can move around. Try to do that with Danny initially. Try and walk Amir Khan down with. He won't be able. I don't think he'll be physically strong enough to walk Errol down. Errol punched so hard that he just changed it all in one punch. Like, you walking me down, man, a couple good shots, and I think that he won't walk him down anymore. So, I mean, like when you ask me, and people ask me, what are y'all gonna do when Kell Brook try to hold? And I said nothing because did he try to hold? He couldn't hold him because he's big and strong than him, and he's hitting him with those shots. So he couldn't hold him. So I think that it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be very intriguing. I think this will be one of the great fights that the fans will love to see, and it has so many different possibilities.
It does. It has me intrigued for sure, especially because I feel like Lamont is going to be a guy that, at least in spots, is going to try and be on the inside with her. We'll see how long that lasts. I'm happy to hear that they've sparred so much, so there is going to be a sense of confidence from both men. We can agree to that, right?
Or lack thereof,
I love it.
No, I mean, listen, man, this guy's a dog. Like, listen, listen, I'm happy because this is what I always say. And I said this to you before too. we'll never know how good Errol Spence is because most of the guys can't take it. So you never know. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to bring, like, this is a guy that's going to bring out the best in Errol Spence. Like, what Kell Brooks said the day he got out of the hospital, they asked him, well, because I read this stuff, I see some people say, well, Keith Thurman's going to outbox him, or Terence Crawford's going to knock him out. And I said, listen, the they didn't hear what Kell Brooks said. Kell Brooks said, the reason why I stopped in the fight is because it could have been fatal. So, see, he changed the whole conversation. You talking about outpointing the guy. You talking about possibly knocking him out. Kell Brooks said, I thought he was going to kill me. So, see, it's two different situations. It only had like a round and a half left to go. So the people are talking about, listen to the man said, I thought it could have been fatal. I never heard somebody say, I thought he was going to kill me. I thought this motherfucker was going to kill me. Basically what he said. So you keep saying this guy's going to outpoint. You keep saying this guy says, no, I thought he was going to kill me. So that changed the whole conversation altogether. So, hey, we'll see, man.
Now, it seems like not only are the, boxing fans behind Errol Spence, but the networks, Espinosa's definitely behind Spence. Why are we getting this in Barclays Center in New York, neither man being from New York and not in Dallas or somewhere in Texas?
Well, Errol is originally from New York City, but the thing about it is this, man. You think Lamont Peterson is going to come to Dallas? I mean, they already probably got, him, whatever. I don't know what that is, and to come to Dallas and fight him, we would love that. But I doubt it happens, and this is the thing about it. There's no place to fight in America like New York City. Because you don't feel that where the people are very astute and know what they're talking about. They come to see a fight not just because it got popular, but because they know what to look for. You go to Vegas, everybody's poo-poo-shee-shee, everybody's all decked out, trying to be, the flyest, look the best. They really don't know much about it. They've heard about this guy. They may not know who the guy really truly is, right? But these guys, people in New York, they actually know boxing. I mean, on the East Coast, it's like they know boxing. So you got east from D.C., that's an easy flight. It's an easy train ride. You got people from Dallas to 3-hour flight. I mean, it's not bad at all. Vegas or, Texas, I couldn't see him coming to Texas. But I can see, like, the people from New York, they know what they're watching. This is like people in the UK. They know boxing. Like, they know boxing. So I think that there's no other place like New York other than in England because they know boxing. So I think that's why they did it, because it's a great place to be, man. It's like you can walk to the venue right in the middle of the city, right in the middle of Brooklyn. I mean, you can't beat that, man.
And the good thing about Barclays Center is it's really starting to become like rooted as a place for great fights and known for boxing. They're doing good numbers. At the very least, people are doing 8,000 ticket sales there. So I'm sure this fight, like you said, will have a good audience, because at least Lamont Peterson fans, that's right there. They can actually drive. If they don't mind the little 4-hour drive that I take every now and then when I go visit Lamont, I'm sure they can do it themselves. But speaking of drives, I actually flew in to see Keith this week, and we were speaking, and he had an opinion on Terence Crawford. And I hate to bounce around, but he doesn't feel Crawford will dominate 147 the way that he did 140. Obviously, he is a horse in that race, and you have a horse in that race. So I just wanted to get your opinion on where do you think Terence Crawford falls into this welterweight division, and how far do you see him going?
I don't know where he falls in. I mean, I think he's a very tough fighter. He's a great champion, and I think that those 7 pounds may not make a difference. I mean, but he's a 135 pounder, so I think he's a small. I've seen him in person, but I really didn't I don't know how big he is. I don't know, you know. So I mean, I think he, you know, I think he could do the Manny Pacquiao thing. You know what I mean? Like up until a certain point. Manny Pacquiao is a smaller guy moving up. He's a speed, he's athleticism, he's agility to be successful. But I don't know. You know, he's done it with a lot of guys considered to possibly nondescript guys, even though as a champion, the last guy he fought, nobody really knew who he was. And I mean, I hadn't seen him fight since I saw him fight in Dallas. I mean, like that guy. I mean, I hadn't watched him fight, so I don't know, you know, who he's been fighting or whatever, you know. So pretty sure they've been pretty good guys because he fought. Well, no, he fought the Russian kid. And he did pretty good with that guy. I like that fight. He outboxed him. He outclassed him. You know, I'm all for America, so I mean, he did really well. And you know, he can do well. I mean, we'll just see, man. I think he could possibly. I can't say who he will beat, because I'm not a prophet. But I think he'll fare well because he's very athletic and you know he can punch pretty well. So we'll see. It'll just for me and Errol, it just come down to fundamentals, and technique, and technical skills opposed to natural athleticism. So we'll see.
And I don't know if you know, but obviously Max Kellerman has mentioned numerous times on the HBO telecast that, you know, he would love to see Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Bob Arum most recently has come out saying that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is the big pay-per-view fight. Do you see it that way? Is Crawford I mean, you know, we're all set on Earl and Thurman, but is Crawford the bigger fight for Earl in the future?
You know, I think that it's possible, man. I think that it just depends on how Errol handles how if he beats Keith Thurman handedly, you know, they'll come over. He's that, you know. So he had an injury coming up. I mean, there'll always be something to be said, but it's possible, man. I mean, you know, I like the way Max Kellerman. He's not gonna let this thing go until Terence Crawford said, "Man, I want to fight Errol Spence," because he's not gonna let it go. So Terence Crawford is trying to say Keith Thurman is the guy, which is like, man, you for real? You know, so because before this, if you think about this, before Triple G fought Kell Brook, everybody knew, okay, that this guy, you know, was really the true champion. I mean, he's a true welterweight. He's the bigger, strongest guy in welterweight division. So, you know, and I didn't see anybody else in the welterweight division beating him, meaning Kell Brook. Then after Errol beat him, so you know, Keith the guy because he had 2 belts. 2 belts doesn't mean anything. And Dojo, whatever guy name he just fought. What was his name? He had 2 belts. Didn't take a body shot. So I didn't see the fight. I heard about it. So I'm just like, come on, man. So what do 2 belts mean? You know. So I think that, you know, but we'll see how it fares. I think that Terence Crawford's a great fighter, and I think that if Bob Arum, they already selling it, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? But we're not gonna look past. I don't believe in looking past anybody. So I won't look past Lamont Peterson. I won't look past Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, whoever it is that's in front of us. I won't look past them because it's asinine to do something like that. You know, everything is work. You know, I mean, we got to put the work in if we want to win the fight. So I think that Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, it's a great fight. I mean, he's gonna fight the kid down in Australia with the. I go for the American fighters every time. So I'm going for him. You know, or whatever the case may be.
Now, we've seen Adrian Broner call a lot of fighters his brother. Rashid Warren's his brother. Errol Spence is his brother. Lamont Peterson's his brother. Danny Garcia's his brother. He's got a lot of brothers. But
yeah.
But Errol Spence essentially will fight any of these guys that are saying that they're, their brothers or whatever. Like, no one expected the Lamont Peterson fight to happen because we assumed that there was some close relationship there through the Broner situation and the amateurs and everything like that. Like you said, they sparred. How easy was it to get in the ring with Lamont? Or since you haven't done it yet, how easy was it to get that contract signed, I guess?
You know, what's funny is that, you know, this is the Errol. You know, I'm Adrian's brother. I mean, you know, for real. You know, but all these guys are really close because they have this kinship. They grew up in amateur boxing. You know, Barry Hunter, you know, and Michael Stafford. All these guys are really close with the guys. So, you know, it's like they really are brothers, man. Really, that's truthful. That's honest. But Errol will fight me if we could make some money on it. You know what I mean? If there was a point to prove, he would try to fight me. You know, so that's what I'm saying about him. You know, so he'll fight any one of those guys who are his friends, right? They'll hang out together and whatever, but they'll be friends after the fact. He will, you know, so he'll fight me, man. We work in the mix and I hit him too hard, he's gonna try to throw a punch back at me. We doing something. So he'll try to fight me, you know. So he's a fighter.
Does that make your job any easier that he's so hungry?
Nah, man, it makes the job hard as hell because you think about this. One, you go out there and it's like I have to work out, I have to stay in shape, I have to hit the bag, I have to run, I have to ride the bike, I have to do all these things, work on my conditioning, work on my balance. I mean, because you look at it like this. The reality of it is you got a guy who's on point, right? And everybody expects him to look good and look better every time he goes out. And so what happens is this is the hardest guy to train because let me tell you what, most people look at the end result. So you look at a kid like Erickson Lubin, right? He's a great fighter, but everybody looks at the end result. And the end result is just him winning or knocking guys out. They don't look at the flaws he had, how he's dropping his hands. You know, the trainer didn't correct that. So it's like you gotta focus on everything the guy's doing wrong at every moment because if not, he's gonna get in that fight, man. He's gonna be exposed. So it's harder. It's not easier. It's harder because his hunger and desire is one thing to be perfect. That's what you want. But I have to be able to watch him if he's dropping his left hand or dropping his right hand. Because by the time you get in the fight, if my hand's so low, he won't bring it up. He's gonna get caught with a shot. So that's why you can't let him play in the ring in the spar. You gotta use focus. And I'm always telling him, do this, do that, do this, do that. Non-stop. He even said in interviews that I get on his nerves. So I tell him what to do, whatever. But you know, he likes it though, because I'm watching. I'm not like just sitting there like looking around, looking at my phone. I'm sitting on the floor watching when he's hitting the bag. You know what I mean? Because you gotta watch everything. Because one little small thing will turn into a great big thing. And so you let him get away with dropping his hands in the gym. You know, his hands are going to still be low, and that other guy's going to make a see that and get caught with a good shot. So it's a harder job, man. But I'm up to it. I work out, like I said, 5 days a week. Stay in shape to keep up with these guys, and it's a good deal. Keep me fresh, keep me young, man.
Man, my last question. Obviously, I don't want to keep you too long, and it's already been almost 40, right? I think, but you spoke about 12 rounds of sparring that he did today with two guys. And you still got like what, 2 months out? That's a good thing, right? That he's so ready so soon.
Well, you know, he's good, man. You know, he wants to be like. So you know, this is his first day of sparring in camp. First day.
Oh wow! Damn, first day. First day, and he did 12.
First day, yeah. Yeah, first day, yeah. First day.
Kid's superhuman, huh?
And no, man, look, I'm sure Lamont doing that also. I mean, like, they know about the fight a couple months before everybody else did. So, you know, but he really was like, he's not going to start training like months ago, but he would spoke with Jermell, help do like rounds with Jermell, help him get ready. He rounds with Robert, help him get ready. So he was doing like 10 or 12 rounds before then also. So, but he hadn't done it in like weeks, in like 3-4 weeks. So now his first day back, he did the 12 rounds, you know, because he was going to do 11, And the guy was like, "This is my last one." He asked the guy, "Can you do one more?" And the guy did another round, so maybe 12. So he's ready, man. I'm sure Lamont's ready also. He knows what to expect because think about this. He faced Errol, and Errol was like 22 years old. And he was ranked number 1 in the world. Sean Porter ranked number 1. Keith Thurman ranked number 1. No, Keith, but Lamont was that whole head and there, so they all ranked number 1 in the world. And he sparred with those guys. And I'll go back and watch the video of them sparring to see the reaction of everything that they did, because it's like when I watched Lubin's fight, I was like, okay, he looks good, man, he looks good, but you couldn't really see anything. He really wasn't fighting anybody else fighting back. But when I watched him spar Miramon, so they put this on the video online, like, man, come on, man, certain things have to be private. So it's sitting at the table in New York, and it's like 2 or 3 years before the fight, I was like, well, watch this a little bit. And I watched it. Oh, man, and then you really realize, you see him fighting somebody who's fighting him back. That's how you see the reaction. That's where I saw kind of who Erickson Lubin was, because he was interviewing with somebody who's fighting him back opposed to all the other guys who he fought. So really kind of never really threw punches back at him, and not really tried to do whatever to him. So, but it's good, man. We're ready to go.
Yo, I'm infamous for saying that's my last one, right? I was talking to Ken like Sunday, right? Sunday night, he called into the show randomly. But we're always talking to him, man. And the fight fans are always making me ask, when is he gonna fight Errol, right? Because they feel like, oh, they don't want to fight Errol. They never mention Errol's name. Ness, you gotta ask him. No one else asks him. Ask him. So I asked the question, and they say it's more about a rankings thing, that when they fought and lost to Kell Brook, the IBF booted them out the rankings like a week after they lost to Kell Brook. They were not even in the top 15, so that they would never fight for that sanctioning body again. Do you buy that?
Hey, man, I got to trust and believe the guy. I mean, hey, man, I'm not gonna call the man a liar. I don't know. I don't know what that. This sounds like his personal feelings about the situation, opposed to something else. So I don't know. I gotta say I have to trust what he's saying, because he's saying it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't. Listen, the point of Errol Spence coming up will be right there in the face, because the WBC is not going to let this situation pass. All these sanctioning bodies want the best and biggest and best guy to be the champion, right? So if you don't remember, last year when they had the WBC convention in Miami, right? They put a picture of that said Jermell Charlo as the 154-pound champion. It was a picture of Errol. So listen, they want this guy to be their champion. Errol wasn't even ranked in the WBC. But they had a picture of Errol Spence and had Jermell Charlo on the bottom of it. So it was a big mistake that they did it. But they, I don't see.
I remember that.
They may have to meet once they may have to meet once Porter gets to WBC or keep Thurman. I don't, because it's, think about it like this. This is how you simplify your life. You don't try to indulge in situations that are not reality, right? So the Errol Spence and Sean Porter fight is not real. That's why when I told you, I remember, I got a lot of fights because I said, I'm not watching video of Kell Brook because the fight's not on wax yet. I said that. It's like they hadn't signed the contract yet. So I wasn't going to watch it. For what? I'm not going to waste my time on until they say, get the fight, I'm good. Like Lamont Peterson, I watched it like a couple times. I've seen him fight so many times, but I went back and watched the video a couple times. Okay, so it's like you got to just put into, don't try to assume something's going to happen when if it's not real, it's not real. The waste of time, like the people came out saying, Errol Spence have Al Heyman. Then they doubled back and said, he's making whatever, so it's like, You can't believe it. People start calling me like, I ain't gonna like that. What are you talking about, man? So, it's kind of like, man, we just gonna focus on what's real. So I don't know about the Kenny Porter thing. Maybe it's real.
I got another one.
Said it's real, it's real.
I got another one.
Give it to me.
Couple weeks ago, Golden Boy said they offered a big time offer to Errol Spence, but they wanted to sign him to Golden Boy Promotions. Obviously, he didn't take it. Saddam Ali took the fight. Let's just, play a bit of tennis with that topic and see if you can give me any good enough reasons why Errol wouldn't want to be Miguel Cotto's last fight, beat one of the last remaining pay-per-view stars, and easily become a pay-per-view star. I mean, if you beat the man, you are the man. That is the formula, right?
But he's not the man. He was a man. He was a guy like, he was a man like years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, pay-per-view, that's like a joke right now because the numbers are not the same. Who are they comparing the numbers to? So we got to, Floyd did it so crazy that you got to like dupe the numbers to even make sense. So, I mean, the pay-per-view deal is done. I mean, PBC kind of killed that deal. They give me good fights on regular television. So the top guys fight each other on Showtime or either on PBC or whatever. So I think they kind of did away with that, because people are like, I'm not paying for that when I can watch Sean Porter fight Keith Thurman, Sean Porter fight Danny Garcia, and Errol Spence fight whatever. So, but I think that, Cotto, I mean, he's on his way out, man. Why wouldn't Errol want to? I mean, if there's strings attached to the situation, you don't want to be. If you want to intoxicate, you want to send me something tangible. Don't try to lace me up. Think about this. What kind of guy says, how does Miguel Cotto feel like, oh shit, man, they try to use me to get these young guys, man. I'll be pissed off, like, man, what kind of, because they're gonna get me beat up by facing these guys. Come on, man. When they just want to sign the guy. So, I mean, hey, I didn't know that they called him. That was a very secretive and private guy. He told me, I said, man, did they call you? He said, yeah. It was after the fact. So they asked him in the press conference he did. He said, I didn't want to do that because I want to start my own promotional company. So that's, and then I was like, man, then I asked him after that. He said, yeah, they did. I said, okay. He never mentioned it to me. He never told me. That they even, very private, very secretive guy. So, he's not going to tell something, he's not a talker. So, I mean, it's not about Miguel Cotto. It was more about himself. And he wanted to, start his own deal and not sign with somebody else, man.
I hear him, man. I just wish I was Earl's friend, I don't know. I mean, walk with me here with this thought, right? Like, he goes in there and let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Who's not gonna pick Errol Spence to beat Miguel Cotto? Like, who is he really not gonna be the favorite? Yes, he's gonna be the favorite. And
well, listen, yeah, his wife, Miguel Cotto's wife is not gonna pick Errol Spence to beat Miguel Cotto. But other than that, he's gonna be the favorite. Yeah,
exactly. So, if he looks as good as we could assume, I think that the world would immediately start saying like Errol and Canelo. I know it's an entirely different division, and it would be rushing a guy that started at 47 to now move all the way to either 54 or 60 or some catch weight, but at least it will be the chatter. And being on Golden Boy, it's way more realistic than not being on Golden Boy, right? Because I mean, damn, imagine Errol would have got a Cotto, a Cotto shot, then another HBO fight, and then boom, a Canelo fight. Because Canelo don't really want those Triple G. I mean, look, he's looking at options, right? He's talking about Billy Joe Saunders winners. He's got options. And we seen him fight a welterweight before in Amir Khan. I'm just saying, they're always thinking big business. Amir was a welterweight, and typically we would have shunned that fight, but instead it did 600,000 pay-per-view sales, allegedly.
Right. Allegedly, yeah. But I think that I feel like this. One thing about Canelo Alvarez, you have to say, he's constantly getting better. He's getting better. He's looking better. When he fought, listen, I had him winning the fight with Triple G because I think he won the first 5 rounds. He won the first 5 and the last 3, the last 2, that's 7. So he won the first 4 and won the last 2, that's 6. So, but he had Triple G very apprehensive. He didn't want to let his hands go. He was hitting him in between the punches. He was counter-punching him. He made him look very old and very lethargic. He made him look very unsure of himself. To me, as a boxer, looking at this, I'm like, man, he boxed really pretty, man. So, if they would have dangled that, if they didn't say, listen, you fight Cotto and we'll give you Canelo. But that fight, that's the fight that the fans are really going to demand. So it really doesn't matter whether he was Golden Boy or not. Listen, man, that's the fight. Because, when you fighting at 150-something, Canelo's really not a middleweight. He's fighting at 150 so much. So I assume, I think that's a good fight, man. We got Jermell Charlo too. So don't forget about that. So that would be a fight for them. It just depends, man. He would have to see me either way. Either way.
Hey, which brings me to the 100.
Would you admit that before you admitted Jermell not one time? That's okay.
No, it brings me to the 154-pound. Believe me, I got a Jermell Charlo question that someone just sent me $10 on my super chat to make sure I ask you, right? And obviously I know the answer, but because of Errol and his actions, maybe the traditional answer isn't the correct answer. So obviously, in order for, Errol to fight Canelo, a guy that, let's not forget, has already sold 40,000 tickets in, Texas versus Liam Smith. So imagine how many tickets an Errol and Canelo fight would do. But in order to see a Canelo, he's obviously going to have to either go through 54 or skip over it. So now we talked earlier about the friendships and the brothers. What's going to happen there with Jermell and Errol because you trained them both?
Well, they just have that's the whole conversation within itself. But Errol's a 47-pounder right now. He makes the weight pretty decent. Listen, they won't fight together because what am I going to do each round? Switch, go run one side of the ring to the other. I can't do that. So that's a fight that can't happen.
Exactly. No, I agree. But obviously, I am asking the questions that the public is sending at me live via our chat. Yeah. So, but again, we had you on for a long time. I am gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and want to thank you. Obviously, get me in that camp, James. I need to know what time so I could set that flight up and not have to pay an arm and a leg. But as always, thank you for giving us the opportunity to interview you, giving us a little bit of insight, allowing us to pick your brain, and being such a overall great guy, staying on here with us many, many minutes and giving these fight fans a treat for sure.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you for having me on, man. And, listen, we got a lot of fire coming. These guys are getting better. Rob and Jermell and Errol. And it's going to be a big year next year, man. Hopefully we can get the Keith Thurman fight. Or maybe we can, I like.
Someone just sent me a good one. Someone just sent me a good one, man. The Andrade, bro. He just signed to HBO, so I don't know if it makes it harder because he moved to 160. Maybe Jermell doesn't do it. Maybe Jamal does. I know you don't train Jamal, but there was a Demetrius Andrade and Jermell Charlo beef that was brewing. They were supposed to fight, and they've had these back and forths at press conferences and in the back rooms of the Barclays Center. What do you think about that matchup? If it ever happens, Jermell, Andrade, Southpaw, Orthodox, what do you think?
Well, I think that would be pretty good, man. I would like that fight. I would like that fight more than any of the other ones, to be honest. Because, it's like you got one guy starving for attention, another guy, just like, he's ready to fight. So, I mean, they were supposed to fight before. So, not like, I don't know why people keep talking about Charlo fighting Andre when he pulled out his fight before. So, I think you got to give the clarity on the situation. They were supposed to fight before. Andre pulled out his fight. So, I think that it should be interesting. I like that fight. I love that fight. So, I'm being honest. I mean, maybe he'll fight tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he can make 154. He's not a big guy. He's trying to get HBO. That's a good deal for him. Maybe a bad deal for them. I mean, I heard the fight who did he fight last time? I heard it was boring. I heard it wasn't that great.
Yeah, he fought Lainez Fox.
You tell me, because I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna call it boring. I enjoy boxers, but he fought Lainez Fox out of the DMV area over there. His brother, Mikel Fox. Two tall guys, but yeah, I mean, he got a decision. But what about? Let me see. Another thing with Charlo is the Hurd situation, right? He even said that Hurd is an easier fight to him than the Lubin fight. And Hurd is starting to show us that he's...
Wait. Okay, listen. I think that I won't say that, but that's him from his perspective, right? I'll say that Hurd's a good guy, man. He's a tough guy. I mean, he's very durable. He beat everybody with his durability. Think about it. He was losing to the other guy. He was very durable, though. He was able to withstand it. He was getting outboxed by the older guy, like Trout. He was able to withstand that. So, listen, that's the thing about it. He's a very durable, very tough guy. And he's big. He's big enough to endure these smaller guys' onslaughts, right? So, but I think it's an interesting fight. I think that, I think that what he means possibly is that the intensity and the pressure, the idea, because like everybody assumed that he was going to lose a little bit. Everybody, I don't know why. Showtime, this guy, that guy, everybody. You know what I mean? They thought he was going to lose a little bit. And, so that's what it is, man. But Hurd is a guy who you come in there, you train hard for. Because he's going to go 12 rounds in the later rounds because he's a guy who is tough, man. You got to just use you got to be able to be in great shape because he gets the guys when they get tired. You're going to get them. So you got to be smart. You got to be intelligent. You got to be truly conditioned because if not, he's going to creep up on you and get you. And that's how he's going to beat these other guys. So, hey, he's got to Hurd's the real deal. You know what I mean? Because he's a guy that's been able to endure the punches and the punishment or whatever it is to come back and knock these guys out. You got to respect that.
Would you like that next, being as though it's a unification?
You know what I said earlier, that I don't want to interject my feelings, but if they could make it happen, it would be great, man. I want what they want. You know what I'm saying? So if I heard Jermell say it, so that's what I want for him. You know what I mean? I think that it'll be a good fight. I think that it's going to be a bomb burner. I think that, because if you look at how Jermell took himself this year from being a opening act, 2 co-main events, to first, if you think about this, Jamal Law, Jermell was the first fight. Then he moves to the fight. The next year fight, Charles had to defend his co-main event to Sean Porter. Then he comes back, his co-main event to Law. So now he has surpassed Laura in the interest rate. Because nobody wants, come on, man. If you want to see this guy who's going to go in and possibly knock you out with great boxing skills, that's what people really want to see. So now, I believe he's turned himself into a main event fighter. He could be a possible superstar, man. His star has definitely grown. And I think that this would be great to see a unification bout if that be the case. and it'd be a main event. So it'd be a first main event or whatever. The first real big main event on a big stage. So I think it's good, man. I mean, I think that he's shown that he is a bona fide champion. I mean, he came out, he beat guys. He was down in the fight against Jackson, and he showed his fortitude to come back and, you know, do what he did. Charles Hattie, you know, he didn't let him in the fight. If you let Charles Hattie in the fight, Charles Hattie would beat you. So my whole thing, do not let him in the fight. Then you got Lubin, who if you let Lubin do what he does, Lubin will beat you because listen, Erickson Lubin, Charles Hattie, John Jackson, all these guys will beat themselves every day of the week. If you let them, you cannot let them beat themselves. You have to not let them beat themselves. Just jump on them or do whatever you do to you know, stop that, man. You know, look at her. Her to be great. If you let him be who he is, he's great. You can't let these guys beat themselves. And that's what it is, man. So, you know, we just got to go out there and jump on these guys and beat these guys and just not let them even get in the fight.
Definitely, man. Listen, Derrick, once again, want to thank you for the time and wish you the best. It's always a pleasure talking to you, man. You gave us a bunch of gems. Devin Alexander's getting in the ring right now. Main event on Fox Sports 1 Tuesday night. Toe-to-toe fights. Let's see his comeback. He's been out of the ring about 2 years. But, Derrick, if you got any social media you want to give to our listeners, let them know now. If not, brother, we'll get you on ASAP, man. It's going down pretty soon for you guys, so we got to get you back, and I'll see you here in tri-state area.
Yeah, man. I'm on Facebook, man. I'm not just fly. I'm not on all the other things, but I don't know how to work them. I don't know much about them, so I'm on Facebook. Excuse me, Derrick D. James, and that's it, man. I'm not, you know, come on, man. I'm an older guy, man. I'm not fly, man.
Nah, man.
I'm basic.
You fly, man. You fly. Let's see if these guys that they call themselves experts put your name in a hat for trainer of the year because you did a wonderful job this year. It would have been definitely. It would have happened if you would have got the Rob Brant win. That kind of ifed it for you right there, right? But Derrick, once again,
you know what? I think it's always an if, you know what I'm saying? But I think that nobody, has had two tough fighters, two who made statements. I mean, you go and fight in England, 30,000. See, Errol won International Fighter of the Year. So he won Fighter of the Year already internationally. So it wasn't a big deal. Nobody, I guess they kind of brushed over it in America, but he was International Fighter of the Year. And I think that, when Jermell having two, it's like statement-making knockouts. Errol breaking the guy's face. Made him quit. That's great. I don't know what Rob fight would have did it, but I think it shouldn't have been hanging on that because you got two world champions. Only one other guy who has two world champions, but his guys are not as great as my two guys. So, hey, it is what it is, man. We'll see. If they put me in, they do. If they don't, because when I get a hold to it, I'm not letting it go. So, they ready.
Yo, you gotta grab up Peter Quillen and bring him back, man. You can grab up a guy like Pete, bring him back, and that'll definitely put you in there too.
But Peter's over there with Virgil, man. So so it's all good, man. Virgil's doing his thing. But so listen, think about this. Jermell Charlo was a guy who moved around, who boxed, who wasn't a big puncher. I worked with his defense, worked with his fundamentals, worked with his technique, and taught him how to punch. I remember him Teddy had to say over and over, you can't teach power. You have to be born power. Listen, man, what I do is I don't do nothing that they go by, or they've been going by, because people repeat the same thing, crazy over and over and over, asinine thing, and people make it real. I don't do anything that has to do with the old school boxing adage. Nothing. Because boxing is about physics. And if you rotate your body, you got to know somebody with knocked him out. Erickson Lubin may not ever be the same. I can't imagine Charles Howley could ever be the same. I know for a fact that Kell Brooks will never be the same. I mean, so you think about it. So these are guys who are knocking guys out, hurting guys, and you teach them how to punch. You teach them how to punch correctly. You teach them how to hit with their whole body, and that's the key to it all. So, hey, we'll see if they put me in the hat. I thank you for having me on. And listen, anytime y'all want to have me on, ask me some questions, I'm good to go.
Oh, man. We will be having you back on. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick James. Derrick, once again, thank you. Shout out to Derrick for coming on the show. Shout out to everybody that listened. Shout out to my super chat, everybody that definitely blessed us on the super chat. Listen, we got Tuesday night fights, so we're going to go ahead and cut out. Final thoughts was no, that wasn't the final thought. This was. Final thoughts are always great to have a world-renowned trainer. Remember, future, present, past, hit that thumbs up button. Share this. Let the world know about this episode. We got a lot of gems. We spoke about just about everything in the welterweight 154-pound division. We even got a little Canelo in there. Tell a friend to tell a friend. TBV, just put it down. Another great episode. This will be our third episode today. So don't forget to subscribe because if you haven't noticed, we're doing a lot around here. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that bell notification so that you can get the emails every time we go live, every time we upload a video. Yeah, I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Do say, my good friends.